Hello and welcome to the Level 3 Extended Diploma in Art and Design course here at Long Road Sixth Form College. My name is Karen Little and I'm course team leader. The Extended Diploma in Art course is the equivalent to 3 A-levels. It is therefore a full-time programme here at Long Road. The course consists of 13 units which are delivered across the 2-year programme. These units are assessed internally by both your tutors and externally by the exam board. During Year 1, you will explore units in materials, techniques and processes, graphic illustration, photography, both traditional and digital, visual recording, critical and contextual studies, which is looking at the work of other artists and designers, and the creative process. During Year 2, units include printmaking, surface pattern, developing your art and design portfolio for your progression for after Long Road, contemporary fine art materials, techniques and processes, which includes painting, three-dimensional studies, digital work, printmaking, etc., and developing and realising your creative intentions, which is like a final major project, and working to a client brief. We're fortunate at Long Road. We have large, spacious studios, as you can see in the left-hand side of this photograph, and on the right-hand side there is some Year 2 final exhibition work. Drawing is obviously an important aspect of the course and is embedded in all the units that we deliver. Here on this slide you can see a charcoal observational drawing from one of our second year students. This slide shows the student working with charcoal and pencil. We encourage you to experiment with size and scale and different materials and techniques. This slide here shows a student working on an A1 scale with quick ink and Milton fluid. Again, another piece from direct observation with the same technique, but this student here has included white chalk, fine liner and oil pastel. This student here has included and added candle wax and a coffee wash, again observed from direct observation, as has this student, but who has chosen to work in a different range of size and scale. This was a final piece completed by a second year student where they chose to draw on a very unusual surface of leather. They also included some text alongside it which was relevant to the person that they had been drawing. They created and made the handmade frame themselves and wanted to present it in an unusual manner. Life drawing is a really important aspect of the course and is delivered in the summer term of the first year and also throughout the second year. Weekly sessions provide students with a lovely range of samples. Here you can see that the second year student has then used the sewing machine to stitch and sew onto fabric, working from the original drawings. They were framed in an unusual manner with hanging in a white handmade box. Painting is an important aspect of the course. On the left here, the student has chosen to paint on perspex and using the laser cutter machine to cut and add a further level of interest. On the right hand side, the student has chosen a more traditional oil painting technique. These slides here demonstrate students experimenting with different paint samples, working in watercolour, oil, acrylic, working also on different surfaces, mountboard, cardboard, watercolour paper, brown paper. This student here has chosen to work again from direct observation from one of our many collection of still life objects that we have in the department. This was a second year final piece of a landscape painting using oil paints. Printmaking is a popular and exciting aspect of the course. This student here, having visited New York, chose to complete a lino print and chose to print on chine collé. This student went to Kerwin Print Studio as part of the first year work and produced and experimented in different types of printmaking, including monoprint. The piece of work on the left hand side here was a lino cut print printed on a variety of different Procyon dye backgrounds. The piece on the right hand side was completed from after one of our visits into London, which was a large scale complex lino print. Printmaking leads beautifully into the surface pattern unit, and here you can see two students who have chosen to work in different ways with different imagery, producing their own repeat pattern, again using lino print. On this slide here, I thought it was helpful for you just to see some work in progress. On the left hand bottom corner you should be able to see the small scale lino tile that they use to slowly build up and repeat their pattern. Digital and traditional photography is an exciting aspect of the course. We have access to a digital photography suite, and we also have a fully equipped traditional darkroom. Here you can see a student who's used digital photography along with face painting and props to take this successful portrait. These outcomes here are experimental photography techniques using pinhole cameras. This piece here was taken in the photography studio where students are drawing and experimenting with torches and lights on their phones and different bicycle lights. Illustration is a popular aspect of the course. You can see on the right hand side some exquisitely detailed fine line observational drawings. On the left hand side, the student has chosen to work digitally with Photoshop. This was an end of year exhibition from a student who then went on to study illustration at Edinburgh University. This student chose to illustrate their own children's book, actually have it printed and bound, and these were some of her outcomes. Again, these are small scale, beautifully executed illustration outcomes. This student chose to combine both digital illustration techniques on the left hand side. The central panel is a traditional pencil, and the one on the right hand side is Indian ink. Graphic design is also part of the course. This is a first year students project where they produced some outcomes for the Cambridge Honey Company, including repeat pattern work and some digital illustrations. They also took their outcomes through and had it printed on a promotional t-shirt. This slide here, you can again see a student experimenting with pattern work on trainers, a t-shirt to the bottom left hand side, and then again they actually had their imagery printed on a t-shirt professionally. This student chose to use Photoshop and a Wacom tablet to complete a poster as an advertisement. Some students enjoy working to briefs for games design. Here this student has produced a board of supporting outcomes. Initially the life drawing sessions that she explored resulted in her designing and creating her own imagery for games design. On this slide here you can see close-ups of Corvina, who she designed. Again, this student here has used digital technology to support and help him in creating his own games design characters. Within the course there's also the opportunity to explore three-dimensional work. On this slide here you can see a student who explored basket weaving and woodwork along with clay work. And here this student was exploring the surface of brains and created a series of beautiful ceramic brain surface tiles. Fashion and textiles is also included in the course. On this slide here you can just see some students exploring and using felt making techniques along with sewing machine and embellishment to produce their own garments. On this slide here, the piece of work on the left was a necklace constructed from soldering iron techniques, felting and embellishment. This student went on to study jewellery at university. The piece on the right hand side is a combination of different fabrics brought together. And again, another beautiful and exciting final garment included paper, fabric and a surface called Tyvek. Sketchbooks are a really important aspect of the course, and by the time you finish you'll probably have 13 to 15 beautifully completed sketchbooks. You can just see here some examples of both Year 1 and Year 2 sketchbook work. Some students choose to make their own handmade sketchbooks just to complete their own individual drawings on. And on this page here I just included some different small scale. These are no bigger than A5 inside. The bottom left hand corner one is made and sewn from canvas. The top left hand corner one is made from cardboard and watercolour paper. So what is special about the extended diploma course in art at Longroad Sixth Form College? Well, you're taught throughout by specialist tutors. We have excellent purpose-built facilities, including a Mac suite, our traditional photography darkroom. We also encourage you to use open studio access throughout the college day and return when you don't have lessons to complete extra work. We frequently go on trips, both locally and nationally, and we often take you to university exhibitions and get people in to talk about their experiences of university and progression talks. During the course each year we welcome the Raptor Foundation. It's a really exciting opportunity for students to draw from direct observation, and this work is always really well received within their progression portfolios. You can see here some of the beautiful birds that have come into college, into the studio, and sat patiently within the studio desks, surrounded by our level 3 students. And this is a piece of work that was produced from one of the sessions. Although it's challenging and really difficult, the students really relish working alongside live animals. We go on many trips. On this slide here, you can see we're at the zoology, the Christian Dior and the V&A. In 2019, we went to Paris, and the top right-hand one is in the Botanical Gardens. We're frequently using all the wonderful museums and galleries that Cambridge has to offer, but as well as exploring other parts of the world. We hope that this has given you an insight into the Level 3 Extended Diploma in Art course. It's a really good fun and exciting course if you love all things creative and enjoy and relish learning new techniques. I thank you very much for your time today. I hope to see you when lockdown and things have turned back to normal, when we can meet and greet and answer any of your questions that you may have within the art facilities at Long Road Sixth Form College. Many thanks.